Agalilala munkolimbo, agalilala, agalilala munkolimbo, agalilala, agalilala munkolimbo. Ogera njogera ensonga agalilala, agalilala munkolimbo, agalilala, agalilala munkolimbo, agalilala, agalilala munkolimbo, agalilala munkolimbo. Ogera njogera omwetakira muddugavu. Agalilala, agalilala munkolimbo, agalilala, agalilala munkolimbo, agalilala, agalilala munkolimbo.
Sit. Sit. Here we go. Sit. Okay. Okay, lie down. Come, boy. Come. Lie down. Good boy. Come. There we go. Good boy. Good. Good boy.
She's a lovely, beautiful creature. Isn't he gorgeous? Better look up for the photograph, Alison.
Yeah. Look up, Zulu. Come, Zulu. Come. There you go. Good boy.
Such a purr. Haven't you got a gorgeous purr?
Look up, boy. Look up. Come. Come, boy.
He says, I want to see who's struggling with you.
So cheetahs are the only cats that can lie like this and keep their head at a 90-degree angle.
Oh, really?
Look up, boy. Yeah.
She lovely.
They can't roll. So,
So you purr instead of roar, that's much better.
so much better.
I prefer the purring.
Yeah.
It's just like our dogs at home, all the hair that you end up getting whenever you stroke.
Yeah.
Basically, we sell them to all farmers or we sell them to zoos. So what happened was zoos would take the natural population out of the wild and put them in the zoo. The cheetahs would then die because they would be stressed. They don't know what fences are and they don't know what people are. So then after 6 months, after a year, they would die and then they would take another cheetah out of the wild. So Anne saw this and she stopped it. And she said, okay, I will have a breeding program. So some of the cubs that are abandoned, we raise them, so they are used to humans and they are used to fences and they like the interaction.
Yeah.
So those cheetahs get sold to CITES approved zoos, and then the wild cheetahs get sold to farmers that have enough land, and also we have to see if they've got a population of lions and hyenas. We have to know the numbers, because obviously the competition between the cheetah and the lion and the hyena does affect the cheetah.
Yes, that's where we stood the last time to see the cheetah on this special place up here.
They actually look much larger than the normal domesticated cats, and their ears are also much larger. So they depend on their eyesight as well as their hearing. They're very shy animals. They are known as the Secret Seven. They are part of the Secret Seven, and the Secret Seven are nocturnal animals that you don't see often. So they were actually domesticated by the Egyptians in 4000 BC. Janet, yes. And they found skeletons of African wildcats in the pyramids when they did research. They then realized that the domesticated cats were from the African wildcats. So you can distinguish African wildcat from any other cat is that they've got quite a reddish tinge to their ears, so it's quite ginger. They don't have stripes. They are slightly striped on their legs, and they've got a few stripes on their tail. It's not fully striped. Then they've got a beige stomach as well as chest, and then obviously with the big eyes. So this is Molly, and she's a caracal. And caracal is derived from the Turkish word caracal, which means black-eared.
All right.
Yes. And you'll see they've got little black tufts on the tip of their ears, and they use that for communication. So if they're a solitary animal, they would have 2 kittens in a litter, and it's quite amazing. They develop fairly fast. So after 3 weeks, the kittens can look after themselves, but they would stay with the mother for up to 3 to 6 months. They can jump up to 3.8 meters. So they don't just jump very high, they can run very fast. They weigh 20 kilograms, and for the size and for the ability that they can jump so high is quite incredible. So it's actually quite interesting. They did a survey on a property, Zebra Mountain Reserve. It's in the Eastern Cape, and they had quite a lot of caracals. So they did research on 25 of them in a year, and they calculated that 25 of them would eat up to 7,200 kilograms of meat a year. So unfortunately we can't release her because she's half blind. You can see one of them is slightly different. That is not a subspecies. It's just a recessive gene. So like some people have blue eyes and some people have brown eyes. It's a gene they specifically have.
How rare are they?
It all depends. They're very rare, and the survival rate of the king cheetah is not that high. The mothers would abandon them because they don't know what they are, because they are much darker. Yeah. So they're brothers. The 3 of them are brothers. They are related. So one of the other 2 cheetahs has the recessive gene.
I was going to think the sun.
This light would be better.
He's just putting on the gold. They also don't survive that often because predators see them much easier as well. His horse is nice and big. He's got very good limbs.
Oh, yes, he has. Listen. After the initial spitting.
So if you take a king cheetah or a queen cheetah, so that's female, and you mate her with one of the cheetahs that has the gene, then the odds of the cubs being king cheetahs are also very big. Cheetah can run up to 120 kilometers an hour. And you'll see that they don't have retractable claws, so that's to give them a better grip so that they can run faster. They have flexible spines, and that enables them to have a stride of up to 8 meters. They have oval-like tails. The tip of their tail is quite oval-like, and it serves the purpose like a rudder of a boat. So when they need to turn very fast, they just turn their tail and they'll turn to whichever direction they want to go. They depend largely on their eyesight. They can see up to 7 kilometers ahead of them. So cheetahs are also associated with termite mounds, and they use termite mounds for the height advantage, so they can see
He's a bossy with boots, isn't he?
King cheetah, well, he is, I think.
Spots it, isn't he? It's actually a recessive gene.
Yeah.
Look at this. Certainly a pecking order.
You're pretty as a king if you can't burrow.
it's how they got their speed. So when the creator made all the animals, he just didn't know which animal had to be the fastest, and it was a tie between the cheetah and the titi. So we spaded the males. So they have a very family structured behavior, so they look after each other. So if you have only the alpha animals with mates, and only they with the So when the alpha female had her pups, there would be babysitters. So the babysitters would look after the pups, and everyone else would go home.
Himself, doesn't he? Gosh. God.
So as you could see, they eat really fast. This is how they hunt as well.
They all get some.
Yeah. It's actually quite interesting. If a member didn't feel that he got enough, he would go to a member that got more. He would then ask the member, can I please have more food? And the member that had more than enough would regurgitate some of his food and give it to the member that didn't have enough.
Isn't that brilliant?
Wow.
This one pack is a homogeneous breeding pack.
It's not a breeding pack. They are related. The previous pack we had is at the Wildt Center. We moved them because we breed with them there. So the African wild dogs we have here is they were the pups of that pack. This is also how they feed the pups. So there would be babysitters looking after the pups. The rest of the clan would go hunting, and they would then bring back meat regurgitated for the pups, and also the members that were babysitting. They are the second most endangered predator in Africa. The first is the Ethiopian wolf. They are very endangered because farmers don't like the African wild dog. They say they have a too cruel hunting method, but it's actually very effective. They run a speed of 60 kilometers and they can endure that speed for a very long time.
And do you have more wild dogs that are breeding then as well?
They breed with the African wild dogs at the other centre. So we mainly focus on the cheetahs on this property, but the African wild dogs are bred at the other centre. The only other problem we have is that people don't want African wild dogs. So we can't breed too fast with them.
There is one pack at Madikwe
Yeah.
that we saw. Well, we saw one off, we saw one there.
Just saw one.
So a pack can be up to 10 members, but in Botswana they had a pack that came up to 100 African wild dogs, and they were one pack. So the amount of food that's there, and also the other predators. They've been in captivity since they were born. The previous wild dogs we had, we noticed that one of them went missing and we couldn't find her. And then we realized she was in the den and she had 9 pups.
Ah.
So these are the pups, and then we moved them to the other center. Like I said, they were quite intelligent, and I read that they usually make their den close to a water source, and this is because they've got quite a strong scent. So they would urinate and defecate in the water source, so that the predators are drawn to the water source instead of their den.
And are they dangerous to people at all?
Like I said, they're very cowardice. So if you are actually a threat, they will defend themselves.
Yeah.
But if you're not really a threat to them, they'll be curious. They'll come and look what you are. They will be quite scared. But they won't follow through. If you have an African wild dog, they see you as the alpha male or female, so they will challenge you and they will kill you. So that's why they can't be kept as pets. They are also known as the painted wolves, so they are much like the wolves. Yeah, he's kind of picked on a lot.
Scruffy.
It looks like he just woke up. His hair is very messy.
Yes, it does.
So sometimes, on rare occasions, they will have an outcast. So Scruffy is it.
I used to have a dog called Scruffy. Oh. He was. Oh, he is a bit, isn't he? Scruffy. Yes.
He does mix in with the rest. They just pick on him a lot. So So I always explain to people there's always that one family member you don't really want to be associated with, but you do it anyway because they're family. So our cost is so.
First time I've seen a wild bird drink. Never seen them drink. No, it's a beautiful condition.
The previous animal manager we had, she actually told us that the African wild dog is the only animal that would look after the injured and the ill.
Really?
Yeah. And also the ill.